What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are. These are two of my favorite YouTubers. Actually, I watched a lot of their videos. I haven't watched this one, interestingly, but I respect them a lot. Them and their opinions. I laugh a lot. They're absolutely entertaining, absolutely hilarious. Well, I'm excited to jump into this. Europeans often talk down to Americans, but the truth is, they often do talk down to Americans. I've seen plenty of videos, but we finna find out the truth, Europe. We finna find out. Before we do, though, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe and you have it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Human. I talk back. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section or your Google form link. What we got?
Listen, y'all always want to say how bad America is. Listen, Europe, you're not any better. Ask black soccer players how they feel, football players if you prefer, when they play in Italy or in Spain. Or even in England sometimes. How they enjoy having bananas thrown at them. How they like seeing the salutes of our favorite mustache man all throughout the stadium.
Oh, the former painter?
Or how they like...
They give Hitler salutes? Ain't no way. No freaking way. Somebody explain this. Somebody, y'all can't be doing it. They can't be doing the Hitler salute. There's no way on earth.
Our favorite mustache man all throughout the stadium.
Oh, the former painter?
Or how they like monkey chats when they play in Greece. Bruv, and we're not talking about one or two people. We're talking about a whole section. Thousands of people screaming this stuff at the player. As the players, they're crying, they're excited, and they're happy.
And worse still, this type of behaviour is common in the Italian Championship. Throwing bananas, monkey chants, a phenomenon that doesn't even surprise the fans anymore.
Bro, throwing bananas on the field, oh my, that is wild. You're getting kicked out the game here. They will remove you from the game if they catch you doing some stuff like that, bro. That's crazy to me.
Monkey chants, a phenomenon that doesn't even surprise the fans anymore. Like here at the Lazio Stadium.
That's how it works here. Sometimes we hear things, but really it's not racism. Come on, it's just teasing with the players. They're just football jokes, it's nothing more.
Bruv, try doing that in the United States. You have a small incident and it becomes national news. Over there, it's so commonplace, it barely gets the same coverage as
They don't even report it.
Sometimes. They do report it sometimes, but they do nothing about it.
Incidents happen here in hockey leagues, junior hockey leagues, when there's one black player and he's getting, and it makes the news, and their actions that are taken. Over there, it's just a Tuesday night.
I'm just using sports as an example because it happens on a very public platform in front of TVs, and you see how little people care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
And it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. All the time. And so I bring that up because I'm just using that as a lens into how bad it gets on a day-to-day basis for a lot of people. I mean, look at Italy. The problems that they're having with black folks over there, very extensive and well documented. And it happens in a lot of different other countries. And I'm talking about very severe. I mean, even in Greece, there's been a number of stories of people.
Racist hate crimes nearly tripled in 2017, bro. Just the fact that they're at the game and you're comfortable and you the fact that you think it's cool to like monkey, like throwing bananas on the field, like unless it has a different meaning, that's just not cool. That's not cool at all, man. But this is wild. This is Europe. What y'all got to say?
And I'm talking about very severe. I mean, even in Greece, there's been a number of stories of people on the basis of their skin taking big beatings. Now, some people say those weren't Greeks, they were foreign nationals. I'm just giving you guys examples. But throughout the continent, now Europe is a very vast continent with different forms of culture. And so I'm using this as a broad example, but understand this is segmented to a couple countries. Not every country within Europe is included in this. But from my general experience, it just seems interesting to me that all the comments are made about America when within Europe, there are a lot of countries where things are really bad. Listen, I'm just talking about my personal experience. The women I've talked to who used to live in those countries and who have moved here are like, bro, it's night and day. I didn't feel comfortable taking the metro at night in some cities. I didn't feel comfortable walking home at night in some cities. Like, it was...
Hundreds of thousands of women in France molested on public transport. It's crazy. It's crazy to me because, yeah, like he said, you see a lot of videos talking about Americans and talking about the dangers over here. We do, like, I know our gun violence is like so high above everybody else. I know we have a lot of violence. But the way people be talking sometimes, y'all see in these videos, be acting like it doesn't happen in their, it doesn't happen where they're at. It doesn't happen in their country. That type of stuff, no, it's a no-go over there. So this is kind of hundreds of thousands. It's kind of crazy.
In those countries and who have moved here are like, bro, it's night and day. I didn't feel comfortable taking the metro at night in some cities. I didn't feel comfortable walking home at night in some cities. Like, it was given that I was going to be harassed and bothered. Whereas here, in a lot of other places, they feel much safer.
Most of the girls that come to Montreal, that they live in Montreal from France, and we have conversations. Oh, you've been here a couple of months. Good. No. You gonna stay here? Yeah. All right. Cool. So what you like? What did you notice about here that's different from there? She's like, I can wear a skirt. Like, and no, that's it. I walk outside and I can wear skirts and nobody cares. I've even have a girl that worked with us, whatever, on a different gig. She was from a part of Paris and she had rocks thrown at her because she didn't respond to advance of people, and it would happen often.
There's no way. There's no way. Like I said before, a lot of this stuff, like we see it, I know it happens in America. I know that. And we get a lot of flack for it. We get a lot of criticism for it. A lot of criticism from people who act like it doesn't happen where they're at. But these statistics that I'm seeing, it's saying otherwise. Rocks thrown for not answering someone? You didn't even feel comfortable wearing a skirt before you came over? Interesting.
Because she didn't respond to advance of people, and it would happen often.
What's it called?
It's a city in the suburbs. Le 9-3, le 93e arrondissement. Still!
Once I realized that the women weren't reacting that crazy to it, it made me realize, this is cultural for them.
They would just take it. Yeah. Budget. Yo, wow. Listen. Things I've heard.
Yeah.
They said to they woman.
Yeah.
I would never dream of saying to someone I hate.
Yeah. And it messed me up. You want to know why? Because I always had this idea that Europe is super progressive. In reality, they're very socially conservative. Super socially conservative.
1800s.
Bruh. It blew me away.
Yeah.
My whole perception got shattered. I'm like, wait, these are the people lecturing the world? You guys?
The same ones that are saying like, yeah, you know what? If you want to test the vaccines, why don't test it on Africa? While over here, they having problems with Italy and France.
When that story broke about those doctors saying, hey, why don't we test the vaccines for this pandemic out in Africa, and everyone was shocked, I looked at where they were from and I was like, France, and I'm like, sounds about right. You have to...
They said, why don't we test the vaccines in Africa? Hold up, friends. Hold on. Time out.
One was shocked. I looked at where they were from and I was like, France, and I'm like, sounds about right. You have to understand, also, France as a country has, to this day, still been taking reparations from slavery.
Yeah.
13 or 14 countries in Africa who have all their money set up in French banks and they cannot get it out. Basically tied up a whole bunch of African economies in France. They've made it so that if any resources are discovered in these African countries, that France has to be the first buyer. They've made it so that if these countries want to buy weapons for the military, France has to be the seller. They have crippled a lot of economies and made them tied. You know, I feel like a lot of the incidents I deal with here when they're relating to race, I feel like a lot of it's very subtle. generally speaking, when I deal with it more in North America, whereas over there, it's just overt in your face.
Cool. They will say to you,
yeah.
Ah, moi je vous aime pas. Ouais. Par exemple, vous êtes noir et puis c'est ça. Les noirs, c'est un peuple, bon, c'est un peuple qui est pas évolué, c'est un peuple sale, quoi. C'est barbare. Oh. They always look at you like they're. It's crazy.
If you gave me the option between living in the States and living there, I would live in the States pretty much every time. That's me personally. I understand why people wouldn't. There's a lot of reasons not to do it, but I prefer it there. Maybe you feel different, but the stuff that I've seen, like the football chants, that thing blew me away. Throwing bananas crazy. At players.
And nobody says shit.
You know what? A lot of people.
Nobody said anything. That's absolutely wild to me. Like, I don't understand how that flies. I understand like rooting for your team and talking about the other team, but I feel like there's a line you have to draw. I feel like there's a line that has to be drawn at what you're able to do, because that's wild. At that point, like.
It blew me away. I don't throwing bananas at players.
And nobody says shit.
You know what? A lot of people do denounce it, but my problem is more so like at the systemic level where the owners of the clubs don't do anything and the league doesn't take any really sizable action. And everyone's like, how can you guys? And I'm just like, they never do it because they don't give a shit. So anyways, I just made this so you guys could have a little bit of context. But listen, next time you guys are hearing any of this nonsense from any European, I'm like, bro, look at your own country. Look to your neighbors' countries if it's not your country. Some of them are really bad. Trust me, we get a lot of European immigrants here. And the adjustment that they have to make where they're like, guys don't bother me when I'm at a cafe. They just leave me alone. Or I can walk around, and it took me a time to adjust that. Like, oh, I was living in a weird environment. I was like, yeah, girl, I know I went to your environment. It was really weird for me, too.
The skirt comment was not just from one girl. It was so many girls. It's either I can wear skirts or short jeans, or I can just walk in the streets.
Bruv, just before this, we did a Skype call with homegirl.
Yeah.
And from France. And she said, I would never think of wearing a skirt or anything as short where my legs would be seen in Paris at night.
And here, that's just summer.
Winter for some girls who really like clubbing. Yeah, for some girls who are like, I'll take the cold. Yeah. Trust me, I've seen club lineups where girls are like, I've definitely seen that in winter in minus 30 degrees.
Minus 30 degrees, 40
Celsius. Oh, brutal.
They in they skirt because they don't want to pay coach.
I'm like, I'm not sure if you brave or you dumb, but I guess you just really want to dance.
Show them legs because you just shave them.
Bro.
I'm your secret. I'm your fire. Your desire.
Instead of saying Venus, you say peace. I'm your peace. Yeah, did you have any other comments about Europe that you had?
The thing is that it was growing up. It was here because I used to go to college that was French. And so 90% of the teachers were French.
From France? From
France. Different regions of France. And it was that. And I was like one of the only black person. Shout out to Collège Français, South Shore of Montreal. You guys are garbage too. Growing up, it was that as well. The comments, the looks, the way. It's subtle because they're here. But yeah, they used to be pretty freaking bad.
You want to talk about colonial mindset? I also went to French school. I went to DC when I was living in Ethiopia. All my teachers were French. You know what? My dislike for the French language came from that school, my teachers. They would look down on us so much.
Of course.
I remember being in like 5th grade and I would go to school and I would be terrified to speak French because of the way that they would belittle us when we made mistakes. And that's carried on into my adult years because of the way that they looked at me like I was subhuman, the way that they talked to me with their arrogance, right? Yeah. It made my
everything they're saying, it's crazy because you hear other countries say this about America. Say all these things about America. But, there's bad people. God, it just goes to show me that there's bad people everywhere. And not just here. Bad people everywhere. I'm not saying the whole country's bad. I'm saying there's a group of people inside of a country that, like, they're everywhere. Everywhere you're going to find your bad people. So get off America's back all the time.
Was subhuman, the way that they talked to me with their arrogance, right? Yeah. It made my relationship with the French language strange because the way I interpreted it was like, oh, French hurts me, so I'm not going to speak French, and I'm not going to like French. I'm going to make any excuse I can to dislike the language. That was the relationship I built with that language because of them.
Absolutely.
I still remember my teacher, man, and he was so bad. He was like, but are you stupid? Are you an idiot? And to hear that from an adult when you're 13.
Wow.
I was a kid. I was in elementary school, and I was a regular. They were bad. It was crazy, that school. And I spoke to that school about, I don't remember who, but someone's like, yeah, I'm not as old as you are, but my sibling went to that school not too long ago and was pretty much still the same thing. It's like, yo, they just belittle you, and it's just,
I mean, it's not surprising. French people are not necessarily known for being heartwarming and warm and welcoming and kind. That's never been what people used to define French people.
Never.
So at first glance, it's very easy to dislike them.
Yeah.
And I definitely dislike them.
You see it in the cartoons. Pepe Le Pew, that's a depiction of what a French is. They don't smell very good because the hygiene's not great. And the way they treat women, they're very aggressive.
Can you really say that about the hygiene? That's pretty rude.
I don't give a shit. That's what it is. That's a stereotype. You say a bunch of shit about us, so I'm very comfortable.
There's a stat I read that a lot of them don't take showers.
That's what I said.
You told me that, I remember, and I went to look at...
What you mean?
There's a stat I read that a lot of...
Most French people don't shower every day. It turns out that the whole French people never shower thing may indeed. That's interesting.
You say a bunch about us, so I'm very comfortable.
There was a stat that read that a lot of them don't take showers.
That's what I said.
You told me that, I remember, and I went to look it up online. And it was a crazy study that said, like, a lot of them don't take showers. I understand liking blue cheese, but smelling like it, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily it's true. It's like saying French people don't tip, but it's true.
No, they don't tip.
We know because we live here, and there's a lot of them, and it's just a cultural thing because in their country, they don't tip there.
But when they
because if you go to Europe, you'll see this when you go to Europe. It's in some places, it's actually rude to tip.
Yeah. But
I've had people reject my money.
But they come here and they don't tip, knowing that they should tip. Mais nous, en France, le service est inclus. Oui, mais t'es plus en France, tabarnak.
Yeah, this was starting about Europe, but really just ended with us hating on France.
Because that's what we deal with here.
Fair.
It's not all of them. It's like, it's not all of Europe. Exactly. It's not all the people. But
exactly what I just said. It's not all of them. But we all get thrown into a group based off of a certain group of us. We all get thrown in based off of certain
not
group.
All of them. It's like, it's not all of Europe. It's not all the people. But there's a lot of you that ruins it for everybody. Let's just be clear about that.
Yeah. I just think this kind of stuff's interesting because there's a perception of what they're like, and the reality is sometimes very different. And you won't know unless you go there, or if you spend time with there, or you really know the people from there. But they'll back me up on a lot of the stuff I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And if you disagree, leave their comments below. But I don't think I'm wrong about this. My general experience, what I've seen, tells me I'm not wrong about this. Bro, I've sat down on dinner tables, family dinner tables, with people who are French. It is very awkward to hear some of the stuff that they say between each other as couples. And I'm like, y'all talk like that to each other?
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. When there's people around. I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own home or whatever, whatnot, but you're so open about it to talk down to your partner in front of people. Me, I'm not really down with that.
So anyways, we just wanted to make this video to shed light on something, but maybe you guys have a different experience, or maybe you guys want to shed information on why things are the way that they are. This is not to say that these people are inherently bad or that their cultures are bad, but there are some elements that are very questionable.
If you point fingers at the U.S., like my father said, remember when you point your finger at someone, there's always three fingers that are pointing back at you.
Say it in your father's tone.
Et rappelle-toi que l'os que tu pointes une personne, il y a toujours trois doigts qui sont pointés sur toi.
That's right. That's right. Wise man. I wanted to hear it in his voice. It sounded way better. Doesn't it sound way better?
That's just, yeah, my dad's a poet.
I ain't mad at that. I like that.
It is what it is. Not to hate on everybody, but whenever you point someone, you're not necessarily better. Avant.
Exactly.
D'enlever les chats qu'il y a dans ton doigt, il faut que tu enlèves la poutre qu'il y a dans ton œil. Bars!
People in the comments are going to want subtitles. You're not getting them.
Bars!
I did want subtitles. I did want that.
That's just for the friends.
That's just for the French viewers. You just for the French viewers. It's just that.
We good?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, but that's crazy. And like he said, basically at the end of the day, when you point fingers, you got fingers pointing back at yourself. And what do they say? Don't throw rocks from a glass house, something like that. Don't do that, guys. Now, as an American, I understand we have a lot of issues. We have a lot of problems, and yes, like they need to be fixed. But I feel like a lot of countries like talk down on America, like they don't have any problems or they're not facing some of those same issues in their country, and so it's crazy. It's hypocritical. I feel like that's what that word. It's hypocritical. But the fans and the throwing bananas and the making monkey noise, that's like a no-go. That's over the line right there. That's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video you want to see me react to? You can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section. There's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestions, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster than others? Fill out premium. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link. Follow me. Talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy D Neal. Out.